You're watching Wellness Wednesdays, brought to you by Sang Pediatrics.
Welcome back. It's Wellness Wednesday yet again. So, of course, we are joined by Dr. Sang from Sang Pediatrics. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Kat.
So this is a topic that we really wanted to hit on because it impacts so many people. We're talking about milestones for children.
That's right.
Young babies. What does that mean? Kind of what milestones should they be hitting? And, you know, a lot of parents get concerned. They want to make sure their kids are healthy and normal.
Absolutely. A lot of parents out there just want their kid to be, well, not just normal. They want them ahead of the curve.
They want them to be good.
Yeah. And the parents need reassurance that they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
And so we have these milestones in place, and you know, just to note that if you're hitting it, then your child is developing normally, at least normally. And sometimes when they're not, it can be devastating for the families. So I want to give some reassurance to the audience. So thanks for having me on.
Of course. So if somebody is just welcoming a new child into the world, what are some of the milestones they should be looking towards? And kind of when should they know something might not be right and it's time to ask for some help?
The parents automatically, they want their kid to sit up. So that's usually the time when the kid is sitting by themselves, okay? Sometimes it's an average 6 months. Sometimes they can do it at 4 months, sometimes they can do it at 9 months, but that's on average.
Okay.
The one thing that really, and they want to stand too, it's all this gross motor, what we call gross motor skills that they acquire in their first year of life. So standing up around 1 year old, and being able to take their first steps at 1 year old. Again, that's on average. Some kids can do it at 9 months. Some kids it takes 15 to 18 months. But the one that is really very common is speech delay.
Speech delays. Okay, so what does that mean? I mean, I know I talk so much.
Okay.
I can never imagine a time when I didn't talk this much. When do we know whether or not there's an issue if kids aren't progressing with their speech?
Sure. So at 9 months, you usually say mama, dada indiscriminately.
Okay.
Usually the first word is mama, dada. And again, it's indiscriminate at 9 months. They just make the noises. And then at 1 year old, they're usually able to apply that to their mom or their dad. And then as the first year progresses, they should acquire more and more words specifically for that object, right? The thing, though, is that one of the first signs of autism is speech delay. So that's something that people have a lot of anxiety about.
Of course.
And so that's why at Sang Pediatrics, we actually start screening for autism as young as 6 months old. And that goes all the way up to 5 years old. And that's why we are able to catch a lot of autistic children early and get them early intervention.
And so with that, you know, people are hearing, oh, if my kid's not doing this by this point, they're behind, and this is, you know, they're never going to catch up. Is that true?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's true, but most of the time it's not. But then again, you need a professional to assess them. So that's why we do developmental screens on all the children when they come in for their visits.
And so with that, kind of what does that entail? If a parent brought their child in for a checkup like this to screen, you know, what could parents expect?
They can expect to fill out questionnaires, okay, that we can utilize and score in order to see if their child is at risk of a disease that is causing that delay. And so, or one of our questionnaires just asks, do you have any concerns at all? And they just write it down.
Yeah.
And then we can address it at that moment during the physical exam.
All right, well, Dr. Sang, some good information there. Lots of questions we got answered. I appreciate you being here with us today.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, always good to see you. Dr. Sang from Sang Pediatrics. If you'd like to watch this Wellness Wednesday or any of our other Wellness Wednesdays, go to our website, yourcentralvalley.com.